So, welcome to a little mini starter genetics tutorial for Funky Stations Genetics. Um, to get started, right off the bat, we take the water bottle, we inflate a kobold or monkey cube, we stuff it into the medical scanner. Okay, apparently I forgot to link this. Hold on. I'm very professional. Push it back in. There we go. Put them in, and we get all this. The very simple way of looking at it is storage holds all of these sequences you saved, researched, and whatever else. And the sequencer allows you to sequence DNA in order to discover said stuff. So we want to match T's with A's, C's with G's, and the inverse is also true. So we set this to C, G, A, T, C. This one, we don't know what it's going to be, so we have to currently randomly guess. Is it an A with a T? No. Is it a T with an A? No. Is it a G with a C? Yes. Save to storage, and we can hit research mutation. That'll generate points passively in the background. This particular one is a negative effect, which reduces instability, which is a good thing. If instability gets to, I believe it's 100, you get a big negative effect. If it gets to 150, they start basically living on a timer of genetic damage. This particular one makes it so that any antitoxin medications, that's anti-rat and anti-poison, do not function properly, which, isn't a good thing. And then while that's going, we can go to other researches. Set this one. Shouldn't be too long for any of these. The longest part is what we're going to be able to show next. Oh boy, oh joy. We have 3 unknowns. We don't know if they're correct or not unless all of them are correct, which means this has a or T, a T and A, or A and a T and an A, G and a C, C and a G, and it's the same with this one and the same with this one, which means 4 combinations for each. 4 times 4 is 16, 64. If we had more, it would go up to 256 or higher, and it's not great. So how do we sort this out? Way 1 is by using Joker. You hit Joker, you hit one of the options, it gives you the right one. So now we just have to guess these 2. So A and a T, A and a T. We want to remember that these are the 2 that we're trying. Then we just start rolling through it. See if we can get it. There we go. Reduced physical conditioning, another negative. Wonderful. You'll also notice, despite this being active in the person, which you can see from here, it is not granting genetic instability, or negative genetic instability in the particular case here. That is because the initial DNA sequences that you get do not count for or against instability. If, however, you were to grant this to another person, get it via mutation or whatever else, it would affect your genetic instability. I'll be able to show that once this finishes, but it's going to be some while anyway. We can take them out now. Yep, scream all you want. This will continue to research. Okay, no, I'm not going to leave them outside. I don't know. You? Goodbye. And we can continue to do this with other kobolds. We can continue to run through the same ones. As long as it's saved, it'll show up in storage. So this one has an entirely new set. We can use the scanner to see them beforehand. So this guy has the respiratory medicine rejection, just like this guy. Or, no, sorry, that was researched on a different console. These consoles do not share storages. So we know that we could activate this if we had an activator for it. I did not bring one, so I'll be able to show activators later anyway. Additionally, if you, not what I meant to click, if you scan the person, see that they have active stuff that you want to get rid of, you feed them a pill, and then once that metabolizes, the mutadone will eventually make it so that the mutation is done or goes away. This is generally what medical will be using to give to people, but yeah. And just to show again, this has no sequences, this has sequences, and is researching them. Just stuff to keep in mind. The more advanced they're being, the more possibilities they have. So if we get a Urist, and we stuff them inside, they have 8. If we find a Roach, he's already gone. Let's try that again. I swear, please. Just one stay here. Okay, thank God. We can put him in. He only has 2. And he also has already gotten a mutation. Okay, this is... I don't think I've seen someone automatically have a mutation before. But you can grab this, save to storage, research. That'll continue on in the background with the rest of them. So yeah, different stuff for different folks. Additionally, there are specific mutations for specific creatures that you cannot get any other way, or some that are more likely to show up in creatures. I'm guessing the ionizing radiation is one of those. Don't know for sure. Not going to cover the exact mutations that exist, but there are lots. There are lots and lots. We had a 8-hour round on Scarlet yesterday, and I don't think we finished all of the genetics research. There's a lot. So, detoxification rejection, which I believe was on this guy. Yep, so we've gotten rid of it with the Mutadone. It is no longer bold. But we can get detoxification rejection, print the activator. Scan you again. Everything's the same. Plug this in. Scan them again. And now they have it. You can also get rid of the mutations by putting them in, selecting the mutation, changing one thing. There we go. Mutation, no longer active. Nice, easy, simple. The downside of doing it this way is it does deal rads to tinker with things' DNA. So if I just start mashing at it, you'll see that the total damage just keeps going up. Kobolds and monkeys die at 200 damage. Theoretically, they should go crit before that, but currently crit states are bugged on Funky because... So, that's that. If you are running through one kobold and you just want to keep grinding at that kobold and making sure he feels the pain of rads, you can click Scramble DNA. That gives him 4 entirely new DNA sequences, and you can run through those again. Sometimes it'll be copies of stuff that you've seen before. Not everyone's going to have unique stuff, as this person shows. But generally, each time you click this, you're going to get a new one. Additionally, if you want to share stuff from the storage, you can take a research thing, print the mutator. This guy does not have detoxification rejection. I implant it into them. Scan them again. Was that the activator? I might have used an activator. Hold on. Storage. Print mutator. Worst case, I'll show this on myself. Seems to have no effect. Okay. I'm going to show this on myself. I've got no idea what's up with that. Mutator. Implant into myself. Scan. That should be adding it. I am unsure why it's not. Can we try and reduce physical conditioning? This should be working. Yeah, there we go. Reduce physical conditioning. I'm not sure why the detoxification... Oh, wait, it's because I already have respiratory medicine rejection. Yeah, so if you have something that conflicts with another one, you cannot insert it into that person, which means you could just scramble their DNA in order to get this out of the way. Thing to note, this does affect genetic instability. As I said before, 100 bad things happen, 150, they're on a timed life. Let me double check if there's anything I'm forgetting right now. We go over to the well flushed out, if I can find it. Science, genetics. Yep, handheld scanner we already showed. You can print it out. I believe the C and the G would be the pair, so the X and the C would be the pair, so on and so forth. Genetics console, yep. Basics. I believe we covered all of this. There is one other thing that, 0.2 damage. There is one other thing that we can cover, which is how to share the DNA database between stuff. Let's say we want ionizing radiation tolerance, and we want it to be able to be in another thing. We print a mutator or activator, pick it up, shove it in the other machine. There we go. It's in here now. Very simple, very easy to do. These also have separate Joker cooldowns, so if you really want to, you can print a ton of genetics consoles and farm Joker. Don't. That's really cheesy and scummy, but I mean, you can. Other things of note, I mean, you can print out a new genetics console, send it over to Med so that they can do whatever they're going to do with it, or leave it out front with the selected mutations that you want to be able to share with people. So if you want everyone to have ionizing radiation tolerance, you can just take that out, pass it around, there we go. The fact that I haven't seen this before and it's such high instability makes me think this is also unique to roaches, but I don't know for sure. There's so many different types of stuff. There's armor, there's changes to how healing works, like the medicine rejection, there's passive healing, there's stun changes, so you can have more or less stamina. There's a lot of stuff. So much stuff. I believe one of them even lets you shoot lasers and ice and, yeah, lots and lots of things. Enjoy yourself, figure it out. Remember, if you are not science, avoid this. If you are science, honestly, I'm not going to say this is the most entertaining 2 hours of your life to spend working on these researches. They're not bad, but it is definitely about the actual outcomes of the research more than the points you get out of it, because I think the most I've seen is 1,200 points, which isn't a whole lot. Most of them are about 300 points, so you're not contributing a huge amount to science itself. The genes themselves are really good, but it's a gamble, so you're never sure if you're actually going to get anything particularly great. I should probably also show off random mutation happening, so I'm just going to attempt to kill this kobold with radiation and see if I can get him to randomly proc a mutation. We hope. We pray. It might happen. It could happen. If it doesn't happen, basically it just shows up as a fifth one. There we go. It shows up as an extra one. We can hit save to storage and research immediately. It's automatically active. This does also happen with other radiation damage, so expect a lot of engineering staff to show up with random mutations throughout the shift. It's just gonna happen, you know? If I remember right, I think Muta also... Yeah, unstable mutagen, I believe, has a chance to cause a random genetic mutation. It's not very high. I'm not sure why all these digits are here. I'm guessing there's some sort of integer limit that it's rounded from, but yeah. It is fun, though. I do enjoy genetics. I can't wait to see how it's improved upon in the future. Currently, there are issues with overpoweredness. Be careful with stuff. I'm sure the rules around it are going to change in the future, and almost certainly there's going to be mechanic changes along the way. But yeah, have fun. Enjoy yourselves out there. See you all next time.